Hi everyone, welcome to today's Legal 101. It's a Thursday, so it is on environment and land law, and it comes courtesy of a recent news piece. I was listening to the radio, if you know, where some people from Okwala, I think Siaya County, were calling for the removal of a land registrar. I didn't quite hear the entire news piece, and therefore I do not know why they were calling for this particular registrar's removal from office, but it got me thinking about the appointment of land registrars and their removal, and how this is a devolved function. Functions of the land registrars are devolved, and therefore these are people you interact with on a day-to-day basis. Okay, and you do not. We have had stories about how they could frustrate others. We have had stories about corrupt dealings. As an advocate, I have experienced some of that, or we call it facilitation, but ideally, if you work in a public office, you should be able to serve everybody without expecting anything given to you. Chini ya maji, chai, etc. But it happens everywhere all the time. We have also read case law, and we have also come across briefs where there is need to cancel one title of a property because it was issued without due regard for procedure. Now, a chief land registrar, deputy chief land registrar, county land registrar, all land registrars are appointed by the Public Service Commission. Now, before they are sent into office, they are vetted. And during the vetting, the PSC is supposed to consider their merit and their suitability for the job. The PSC is supposed to consider their qualifications. The PSC is supposed to consider their experience and the milestones they have reached that gives them the right or the ability to perform the functions that land registrars perform. And lastly, the PSC is supposed to consider their personal integrity. Therefore, when it also comes to taking disciplinary action against public officers, the PSC should be in the forefront, which then means that if you have a complaint against a land registrar, you should visit the Public Service Commission and make your complaint there. What then they will do is investigate your complaint, and if there is a cause of action that is supposed to be taken against the public officer, that public officer will be invited to defend themselves against the claims made against them. And it is like any administrative action. Before it is reached, all the parties must be given an opportunity to be heard, so that the public officer doesn't later complain and say there was a process where that led to penalties against me or sanctions against me, but the manner in which that was done was not proper. So it is important for them to be taken through a proper hearing, and at the end of it all, there will be a decision. Now, the decision could be in the form of a penalty, and penalties could include a reprimand. It could include a deferment of increment in their salaries. It could include interdiction, where half their basic salary is slashed pending disciplinary action. It could include deferment in their promotion for at most 12 months. It could include suspension where they have been charged with a criminal offense. It could include dismissal from work, considering this is an employer-employee relationship like any other. It could also include reduction in their rank or seniority. And lastly, it could include recovery of costs or part of the costs for any loss or breakage caused by their default or negligence. Now, as a public officer, if faced with a disciplinary action, you cannot resign. Okay, your resignation letter will be rejected, because it is implied then that you want to avoid anticipated or ongoing disciplinary action, and so you're supposed to go through the entire process, and there's supposed to be a decision at the end of it. So yes, that's what I can say about that, to help you remain compliant as a public officer, but also to let you know as a user of the services of a public officer that you do have a place to go, and you do have options, and they're provided in law. Okay, so that marks the end of today's Legal 101. It's the last one because we're going into Easter. So the next one should be on Tuesday next week. Unless, and this is very likely, unless I am extremely busy throughout next week, but I will try to post even very short snippets of Legal 101 next week. But other than that, enjoy your Easter holiday. If you are a practicing Christian, have a fabulous time in church, and pray for us. Okay, so have a restful Easter holiday, and bye.